I want you to look at a number that should absolutely terrify every single football fan in this country. 783. That is how many passes Portugal completed tonight against DR Congo. We held 75% of the ball. We completely choked out the pitch, and yet when the final whistle blew in Houston, we walked off with a 1-1 draw looking completely paralyzed. If you watch this game, you probably feel sick to your stomach right now. You're probably feeling angry, frustrated and completely drained. And you have every right to feel that way. Because what we just witnessed wasn't bad luck. It wasn't just a frustrating opening day where the ball refused to go in. It was a terrifying structural flashback. We are watching the ghosts of 2014, 2018 and 2022 playing on a continuous loop. We are tearing up the generic match reviews tonight. I don't care about the basic player stats or who passed to who in the midfield. We are going to look at the undeniable reality of how Roberto Martinez built a team that commands everything but threatens absolutely nothing. Let's start with the hard facts, because the possession stats are lying to you. In the 6th minute, João Neves scored a brilliant bullet header. He was an absolute monster today, easily walking away with an 8.0 match rating, fighting for every single ball. It looked like the perfect start, but the truth is that early goal was the worst thing that could have happened to the psychology of this team. The moment that ball hit the back of the net, Portugal showed mercy and they contracted a disease called sterile possession. Look at the data. We had 75% of the ball, but we generated an abomination of 0.64 expected goals. We made 783 passes but only managed 7 total shots. Think about that math for a second. That means this team needed over 100 passes just to pull the trigger once. Meanwhile, DR Congo, a team that hasn't been in a World Cup pitch in 52 years, a team playing in a D5-3-2 low block with only 25 possession, outshot us. They took 8 shots, they generated 0.82 expected goals. They were more dangerous without the ball than we were with it. This is the exact brand of arrogance that kills World Cup dreams. We treated a tournament opener like a casual Tuesday morning training drill. But how does a team with 25% possession outshot a European giant? Let's talk about the mechanism of this failure. Roberto Martinez has engineered a tactical blueprint that is practically begging to be counter-attacked. Look at our fullbacks. Nuno Mendes walked away with a miserable 6.4 rating because he was completely lost. He isn't playing as a wing back to anchor the left side. He is playing as an inverted winger. On the right side, João Cancelo is pushing so high that Bernardo Silva is forced to drop deep into his own half just to clear up the mess. When you bench Ruben Diaz and Goncalo Inacio, you delete your defensive floor. Thomas Araujo and Renato Veiga were left completely isolated. DR Congo's vertical pace carved through those massive empty pockets of green grass behind our fullbacks all night long. And against big teams, this tactic will completely rip us apart. And if you want proof that this structural failure broke the team's psychology, look at the second half. We saw Vitinha, usually our most press resistant player, give away a catastrophic ball in the center of the park that was only saved because a Congo player misplaced the pass. This isn't tactics, this is pure panic. When your players are making blind back passes in their own half against DR Congo, what do you think is going to happen against France, Argentina or Spain? They won't just score, they will embarrass us. And now I am going to say this as a fan who owes him entire love of this sport to this man. We have to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. A 6.1 match rating, the lowest rating of any player who started this match for Portugal. This isn't about the lazy internet narrative of he doesn't care. Ronaldo wants this more than oxygen. The problem is a fatal lack of major tournament rhythm colliding with a broken tactical system. Bruno Fernandes dropped a 7.8 rating he was trying to create, but the connection between the midfield and the striker is completely severed. Ronaldo is 41 years old. He cannot dynamically press a low block by himself, and when the team stops him of service, the isolation loop begins. He woke up in the second half. He was making the runs, but nobody was playing him the ball. It gave me a massive 2022 vibes, but the brutal reality is when the golden open net chances finally arrived in the 69th minute and 74 minutes, he fumbled it. Seeing him fall so easily inside the box hurts me, man. You cannot win the World Cup carrying a front line that commands the entire tactical gravity of the team but finishes nothing. It creates a psychological drain. Pedro Neto plays a horribly poor performance on the left before getting hooked. This brings us to a historical pattern. The draw against DR Congo hurts, but the way we drew is what should terrify you. This is 2014, 2018 and 2022 all over again. We arrive with generational talent, we score an early goal and we expect the opposition to just roll over. But Congo didn't care about our prestige. They parked the bus, tightened the screws and fought like dogs because they hung hunger never faded. It's over, 1-1. The cakewalk is a graveyard. Portugal has learned absolutely nothing from history. But I am not here just to complain. The tournament isn't over, but Roberto Martinez has to completely dismantle this tactical setup before the next match. Here is the exact blueprint to save this team. First, reinstate the defensive floor. Goncalo Inacio must start. Without Ruben Diaz, we lack central composure. It stops us from relying on Cancelo, pushing from the stratosphere and leaving us exposed. Second, kill the inverted wing-back experiment. Nuno Mendes needs to play as a traditional wing-back or a fullback. If you want width, you should start Francisco Conceição and Rafael Leao on the touchline to stretch the low blocks. Conceição brought the only hunger we saw in the second half. Stop forcing Bernardo Silva to drop 40 yards deep just to get a touch of the ball. Let your creators create in the final third. Third, Martinez has to make the hardest managerial decision in football. Ronaldo cannot play 90 minutes of high-intensity football against deep blocks right now. If the opposition is sitting in a 5-3-2, you need the aggressive, chaotic movement of Joao Felix to drag centre-backs out of position. You use Ronaldo as the ultimate 30-minute weapon when the game is stretched, not as a battering ram against a brick wall for an hour and a half. We are Portugal, we have the best midfield engine on the planet in João Neves and Vitinha. But if we don't drop the ego, fix the transitional spacing and find our killer instinct, Houston isn't the start of our redemption arc, it is just a beginning of the end. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Do you drop Ronaldo for the next match or do you blame Martinez's tactics? Drop a like if you felt the exact same pain I did tonight. Subscribe for the unapologetic truth and I will see you in the next one.